They said it would never happen, but it has. We're back. Forgive the delay in the release of this podcast. There's been a lot going on in my life, but we're back. And so hopefully the podcast will resume normal releases. Anyway, this was recorded months and months ago, and it was all about Christmas. It's still relevant, and it applies to most big celebratory events that maybe fill your children or our children with some kind of awkward feelings. So I hope you enjoy it. It's Christmas time.
It's Christmas!
All right, Noddy. Can you imagine being Noddy Holder? He must be raking it in. Every time that music is played, he must get paid. And absolutely good luck to him.
I've heard him do an interview, and he says that every Christmas morning when he wakes up, he does it. He shouts out, "It's Christmas."
Can you imagine being his neighbour? But I imagine he doesn't really live in a cul-de-sac, does he? Or a terrace. He probably shouts into the countryside. Nobody hears a word, but that's not fair. I think he's a genius, and I love him. And imagine. I was saying to my mate yesterday, imagine just writing a song that gets you that rich. But it wouldn't happen these days because it's all different. So, all those songs that I listen to Christmas are all that sort of period of 70s, 80s, maybe a couple of 90s, if that. So yeah, here we are again on the verge of another fun-packed celebration.
This is Adopters Anonymous. Anything you say here is in the strictest confidence.
Who are these people?
Man, these people are heroes.
These wonderful folk, Carl and Martin, they truly are great people. They deal with crazy stuff every day, every single day.
If you listen to their stories, it's like they're living a real-life Hunger Games.
It's Christmas!
God help us all.
What's your plan on Christmas Day? Are you having people round?
So that monologue of a message that I sent to you, I am very sorry how long it was.
What I'm going to share with you was that I asked Carl just to give us a brief rundown of what happens in his house on Christmas Day. He sent me a message. It was 17 minutes long. So we'll start him off and then we'll see how far he gets. And we'll be asking questions at the end.
So we get up in the morning. I've normally put wrapping paper over the door. I'll have my phone out, recording. Kids rip the paper off the door and in they go. To what is normally a lounge full of presents. Because, my wife's amazing. She starts about September, sometimes earlier, and starts doing the Christmas shopping. So they've always got massive piles. Massive piles of presents. Childish. Part of my brain just kicked in there. My youngest daughter's amount of presents have got smaller over the years.
Right, enough of that. Let's have the potted version in brief from Carl.
We get up. It's my wife, my youngest daughter, and my son. Then my eldest daughter and her fiance eventually get to us, depending on how much my future son-in-law's had to drink on Christmas Eve.
A couple of shandies will do it, I've heard.
And then mother and father-in-law come round. We go up to my mum and dad's, and then the rest of the day it's just us. So it's not, like I said in that message last year, it was absolutely brilliant. And my son was just so chilled. Yeah, it was amazing, Marty. And we, touch wood, we're hoping for the same again this year.
What was different, do you think?
I think it was that fact you said in your message to me that we'd lowered our expectations, and it was, right, we're not going to visit anyone. We'll just do us as a family kind of thing. So there weren't loads of people coming round. We weren't going visiting loads of people. And, you know, he's in the comfort of his own home with no unexpected surprises of who's coming to see us or who we're going to see. We've hopefully found the winning formula.
And will you be cooking?
My wife will. We're having a couple of more people tomorrow, but I still think it'll be okay. My son's PA is coming around, who's a very close friend, so that'll be a little bit different, but he's known him for years, so I'm pretty sure that it won't make much of a difference. So yeah, you know, it's lowering your expectations, knowing that there might just be the odd little bit. It's having the acceptance that we are going to have that little bit. So yeah, you know, hopefully, like I say, touch wood, hopefully we'll be okay.
Have they been tricky in the past, Christmases?
Yes, very, very, very tricky. It's the build-up, isn't it? I mean, as soon as Halloween's done, people start putting the Christmas lights up. So everything's lit up with flashing lights, and then December comes, you start opening your advent calendar. You know, pantos are on.
Oh, no, they're not.
Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah, I'm going to one tomorrow, yeah.
And then you start doing different things in school. So our Christmas decorations go up in stages. So it's not like one day the house is normal, the next day it's lit up like God knows what, like Danny DeVito on Deck the Halls. So we do that. We do that steadily in stages. When he was a lot younger, it wasn't too bad. But then as he got older, yeah, I mean, sitting around a dinner table is something we've always done. But my son normally doesn't join us at the dinner table. We've tried to get him to sit at the dinner table. But I think that's more for us, that we're sat as a family around the dinner table having a meal. And you can't cope with that.
No. But I also think that it's not necessarily a neurodivergent child that struggles with that. I was out yesterday with some friends and they were saying that they went out for lunch at a pub one Christmas Day, and that was great. And it's expensive, and the reason we didn't go is because that same place is because our kids wouldn't eat their 80 quid's worth of food. I mean, the amount of money is ridiculous, but I suppose you're paying for all sorts of things. I always used to work on Christmas Day myself because it was A, an excuse to get away from family at home, and B, it was a great earner. And
yes,
yeah, it was good. And yeah, she was saying yesterday that, you know, it's hard when it's, I don't know, special dinner and it's 5 courses served up. The kids don't want to sit still for that long. And so I think they took that from that. And I think I agree. And it's a toughie, isn't it, really? Get them to sit still.
Yeah.
And then there's things like crackers going off, and there's candles. And I think I've learnt, just in the same way that you were talking about lowering expectations, this endless search for perfection that people have for Christmas. It's like, oh, it's got to be perfect. And, you know, I've never really subjected anybody to that kind of perfection because I used to hate Christmas, and I still do. I still am not a massive fan. I was talking to my sister about the fact that this time of year I always just sink into some kind of melancholy, maybe. and and it's just like, oh God, the overindulgence, the excessive spending, and all that sort of stuff. And if you're not doing this, you're not doing that. You're not doing this right. You haven't got this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, do you know what? Yeah, I know what you mean. There's no point trying. So, I mean, we do try our best to have a nice time. We do have a nice time. It sounds like we let the kids out of their as they're coming under the stairs for the day. No, I think we haven't had too bad a time, but it's a difficult one because I think it's that sensory overload that really, I mean, definitely my children, it's a real assault on the senses to feel that they have to be overjoyed, over the moon, be grateful for everything. And some kids, mine included, and me even, find it really hard to show gratitude even when you do. So, for instance, my oldest is getting a bike, and to get the right bike, me and him went to pick it up. And so we drove to north Manchester to get it, and it was great. Saw it, brilliant. Stuck it in the car, and I'm sitting in the car driving home. And I said, what do you think? Are you all right? He's like, yeah, I love it. And that's kind of much to get. And I spoke to him about this, and I said, he volunteered it almost. He said, if I don't display it on the outside, it's just because I'm not very good at showing it. And I said, well, I'm exactly the same. And I get that. Some people don't know how to express joy and gratitude. And I think it's because they may have had difficult times, and trauma has a massive impact on, being able to control your feelings. And an assault on the senses, we went to see, it's something that happens every year now. We, as a family, big extended family, go and see some Christmas lights somewhere. This year we did the same, and it was busy. It was packed. We picked a time slot. Yeah, it was busy, and I was walking around with my youngest, and at one point I could see he was just like, he was falling out with his brother a bit and his cousin, and he came over, and I was like, it's too much for you, isn't it? And he said, yeah, he doesn't do crowds, doesn't do noises, doesn't do anything. He hates surprises, anything like that. So I think it's a classic feeling of that excitement is too much, and he doesn't really need it or want it, I think. So I think it's kind of like we try and keep them fairly low key, as long as they've got chocolate in their mouths for a bit of time, and they've managed to unwrap a load of gifts, it's fine, I think. But we'll have our routines kind of like, obviously the dog still needs walking, so I'll get up, crack a dawn, take the dog out, and hopefully they won't be too angry with me for taking forever to walk the dog. Because they'll be waiting. Come on, Dad. So I might try and say to them, why don't you come for a walk with me tomorrow? And then it's just a case of, everyone should chill out, which will inevitably mean kids playing on devices. And I'll be in the kitchen cooking, and it's a good way of decompressing.
I was just about to ask then.
With my friend. Her name's Sauvignon Blanc. I just think it brings up lots of feelings as well. I mean, probably, I don't know about you, but I'm probably fewer feelings for your song, because it's been with you since birth. Or does it?
I think that is, I was thinking about this yesterday. So your two boys would have had Christmases
elsewhere, several places. Well, a couple of places.
Yeah. So it's different. That's the little bit where it's different for you and myself. My son only knows Christmas with us. So that little bit where you're saying they don't know how to show gratitude, our son is now showing a little bit of, oh my God, that's expensive. But he still wants it. But the thing that we did it last year. So my son starts stressing about, he's chosen something, he wants to make sure it's right. So he wants to see it. So just a bit of a spoiler alert to parents, please don't do this in front of your children. For the first time in 26 years, we no longer have anybody who believes in Santa. Now, last year it was a little bit awkward because he wanted to see some microphones. Can you believe, Mart? He wanted microphones for Christmas. So he wanted to see them to make sure they were okay. And then this year, again, same stress that he got. I sent you a picture of the light bar. I mean, it's massive. And he wanted to make sure that the lights and the light bar were okay. So yesterday was a picking nightmare, and I'm quite grateful that we no longer have any more believers.
Just one thing on that, though, Carl. I get it, and it's a really good thing, but sensory overload. How he doesn't have that problem then, I guess.
He does have that problem, but 3,000 disco lights, smoke machines, and all that lot kinds of
30,000 watts of power.
Well, he's got a smoke machine as well. So
how's he do with food? Will he eat everything put in front of him?
Breakfast he will eat, and then he will snack throughout the day. We go to mum and dad's for breakfast, so there'll be bacon, egg, sausage, beans. So he'll pick through that, pick his favourite bits. Then he'll snack throughout the day, and then the Christmas dinner. Normally, he'll be milling around, playing with his toys, nip in, have a few little bits, pick and choose what he wants. You can pour him a full Christmas dinner on his plate, but he won't. I very much doubt that he'll sit and eat it. So he'll just pick at it. Please unlock.
Just a really quick diversion. While we've been talking, I think Carl has still been going on about how he spends Christmas.
Pressed off. Jesus Christ, that's a proper monologue. 17 minutes. Sorry, Mart. Really sorry. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I think it's the same with ours. I mean, we try and downscale. Before we had children, we do fancy stuff. And now I just think, you know what? They like pigs in blankets. One day we're going to have a pig in blanket roast. Just one giant sausage wrapped in bacon. Because I know they do that. There's not much. I mean, yeah, I imagine there'll be a part of, I'll be cooking some pasta and cheese at one point on the day itself, I imagine. I think it'll be, I mean, yeah, now they're a bit older, it's a little bit easier, I think. We never had any massive blow-ups, but it's that kind of, all those things, you know, we learn not to try and do anything spectacular, because all that happens is that it just ends in some kind of, someone's going to get upset, someone ends up fighting, something ends up getting broken.
But it's that shame.
Yeah.
The shame then comes out, the low self-esteem, and they just don't know how to react.
So, in short, here's what we're going to do, listeners. Carl and I will be recording little bits over the next couple of days. We'll record after the big day and see how it went. So don't turn this podcast off just yet. And for all those non-believers, I mean, he's making that up. It is not true. Santa Claus does exist.
It's the magic of Christmas. Good morning, Mart. Merry Christmas. In a past episode, we talked about sleep. My son slept in his bed all night, got up at 6:30 this morning, came in to us and told us to stay in bed. He was going to make us a brew. So he went down and made us a brew. We then went in the lounge and he did really well. He took his time opening presents. He bought us presents, so he watched us open our presents. I've had a hug, and he's now playing on his new computer, gaming computer. So he's playing a recycling centre simulator and a bin truck simulator game as well. We've had one little bit between our undiagnosed but definitely neurodiverse youngest daughter and our son. My wife and myself decided to go to the bathroom at the same time, so we've just had a little bit of a kick off between the two of them. But other than that, touch wood. Podcast listeners, I'm touching the wooden windowsill in my head. Other than that, we're doing okay at the minute.
Okay, here's my first update. 12:36. Christmas Day lunchtime. I'm going to be honest with you, and forgive me for this. It's nothing to do with anybody but me. I really dislike Christmas. I really do. Everything about it. The idea is always really good. The reality, I think maybe this is something from my childhood that kind of like spills over to modern life now. I just find it really, really emotional, oppressive, restricting, so much pressure to smile and have fucking fun for every single moment. I know I just sound like a moaner. I know I do. But I can't bear it. I cannot bear it. The kids have just been, I mean, they've been fine, been great, but you know, it's what it is though, isn't it? It's what it is.
He's been amazing, absolutely brilliant. So, yes, I'll check in again in a little bit. How's yours gone though, mate?
Well, it's 9:40 at night. I've just finished cleaning the kitchen. I think everyone's gone to bed. I mean, the boys are great. They really are. They really have come such a long way. There's a lot going on at the moment, and not just for them, just outside, you know, my extended family. Just could do without things like Christmas. This idea of perfect Christmas is rammed down our throats any moment from September onwards. This ridiculous idea that every part of the year hangs on one day. Life's not like that. I think they all had a good time. I don't know. I mean, my oldest son is just, I don't know. Sometimes he speaks, sometimes he doesn't. I guess that's being a teenager. Yeah, anyway. Happy Christmas. Speak to you later. It all goes in a flash as usual. What's your overarching thought about the last 3 weeks, shall we say?
Oh, jeepers. Like I said in a few messages, though, the build-up starts ridiculously early. So, you know, they're heightened before we even get to the big day. There's the normal stress of, is the present right that he's asked on his list? So we managed to open them Christmas Eve. And there were a few issues with them, and we had a little bit of meltdown with that. But one of the presents he had has been an absolute hit. It's a good job I'm now working part-time to pay for it. But that's been an absolute massive hit. And he's been building bin trucks, and, you know, a couple of games he's had on is a recycling centre and a bin truck game simulator. Christmas Day was perfect. It was really good. We sat around the table, did the crackers, did the jokes. He actually ate his starter, and then because we got his PA round in, one of his closest friends around, and then my eldest daughter's fiance went to check where he was because he disappeared, and he was in the lounge playing with his bin trucks that he'd had for Christmas that my wife had got off Vinted. So Christmas Day passed really well. It was really good. Boxing Day, we had family round, brother-in-law, cousins. That went well until they were only supposed to be staying for a couple of hours. They stayed for 6. In the end, he came in and said, aren't you going home?
Yes, I love it when kids do that. I love it when kids do that. I really do, because it's like they say what you want to say, but can't, because you're scared of offending them. And it goes on to him, I say.
So his uncle said, yeah, we do need go. You know, we need go. And he went, you've been saying that for the last 2 hours. So yeah, they went. So the day after Boxing Day was a bit wobbly. And that calmed down. We've had 2 days where he's been really, really wobbly. So my wife's done 3 trips to the tip with my son. He was brilliant, loading the rubbish in the car, getting to the tip. The staff at the different tips that they went to were amazing with him. Because obviously, you know, it's his one of his intense interests. So they were chatting about how things work. So he went to the tip near you.
Yeah, I recognize. I'm so embarrassed. I recognised the tip from the photos. Yes.
So did you see the one photograph where the bin truck was in the background?
Yeah.
It was unloading, so it was emptying the rubbish. So as you can imagine, my son was living his best life. So yeah, to be fair, Mart, again, Big C has been really good. We've had a few wobbles, but we've really enjoyed it. My eldest daughter, her fiance, once again stayed for a few days. And, you know, the little bits we've had, stressful at the time, but now sat here talking to you and looking back on it, he's done absolutely amazingly. So, yeah, it's been really good. How was yours?
I'm not a fan of Christmas. I find it challenging in so many ways. And I asked both of my sisters how they felt about this, about Christmas, and you know, they both had similar feelings, and we couldn't put a finger on why we have this emotion. So I'm not a big fan. I don't really enjoy receiving gifts as much as giving them, which might sound weird. I really like that. Kids are good this year, and yeah, it was a pretty straightforward day. You know, we went out in the morning because my little one had a brand new football that he loves football, so we went and played with that down at the park. And my oldest had a new bike, so we went out with the dog, who had some new toys as well. Everyone was happy. Came back home and made dinner. Can't remember who ate what, but we had a good time, me and my wife, and yeah, it was fine. It was the usual Christmas, really. Just I kind of almost think that our Christmas might be better because we've been doing it with just the 4 of us and the dog, and I think it might be better with more people because it kind of takes the pressure off me a little bit. So the kids are great; they don't care what they're doing; they're happy. I just takes pressure off me to kind of perform like a performing monkey and make these amazing meals and things like that. It's like I think it's all because of marketing and pressure from all areas of the media, as you say. And I said this is one of my messages. It starts in September, almost. You know, before kids have had Halloween, before you've had anything else, and then it's like, you know, all the adverts bombarding you. And not so much as it used to be because we don't watch we don't watch TV in the same way anymore. But yeah, you just feel like if you don't serve this sort of food at certain times, this many meals, you know, you've let everyone down. And I still am baffled by the amount of food I see people buying when I know I'm buying a lot. I'm thinking, Christ, what are they doing with it all? That's taken away from the kids. The kids have been good.
It's more your issues then.
I think so, yeah. But I think also we're learning more about how my youngest reacts to situations. And so, for instance, I think I mentioned this, we went to some lights before Christmas, and he's really doesn't like any attention, any crowds, anything like that. And I think this Christmas has demonstrated how he reacts to those situations. And I think the next year coming up may not start with a lot of work looking into what's happening with him, but I think it'll probably begin to kick in that we need to investigate more of his
needs.
I suppose therapeutic needs, yeah. Which, you know, leads us on to our next episode, which we're doing, which is all about the cutting of any funding. So
yeah, good luck with getting any diagnoses.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be honest, now I wouldn't know where to start. I mean, that's the problem. I guess we'd try and go down the similar sort of route, but I think unlike my oldest, who's slightly more obvious in terms of how he displays his ADHD. I would say there's a very good chance that my little one has it too, but they display it in very different ways.
Right, Mart. When you've met one neurodiverse child, Mart.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You've met one neurodiverse child. I think that's so key, and I think that's what makes it even harder. You can almost write a script for how he's going to react in certain situations. At the moment, he's totally defiant. His classic is when he can be very, very rude in terms of back chat. And you'll say to him, "Come on, don't be so rude." And what will he say? "Well, you were rude to me. Don't backchat me." "Well, you were backchatting me." It's like, well, okay, right. You can see how this goes around in circles. And so you have to try, it's that new approach. So yeah, there's a different approach, which once you've been doing the same routine every night for the last, what seems like an eternity, it's quite hard to think, okay, right, don't lose your temper here. Yeah, that's the challenge we have ahead.
Yeah.
So all in all, I would banish Christmas to a very quick celebration with minimal money spent on all the trappings. I don't mind getting presents and gifts for people. There's part of me that still gets that buzz of excitement and joy, but it doesn't last for long. I wish I was more normal.
But it's normal though, Mart. Like you say though, the problem is it just starts so early. The adverts should be in Christmas songs should be banned until, I don't know, middle of December.
Forever.
Well, I like some of them.
Yeah, but Christmas songs, yeah, I get it. I get the Christmas songs, but they're all the bloody same every bloody year, and I get that. And it's just, what are we going to do this year? Let's wear out the same old tapes. Let's play the same old songs. Let's do the same old thing. And it's like, oh, good God. I don't even like Shakin' Stevens.
This is turning into a proper rant.
Oh, God, Mariah Carey. It's fine, but once you've heard it a billion times, it actually killed my love of the Pogues and Kirsty MacColl for a while. Because it's like, oh my God, if I hear that song again, I always think, okay, this is my final word. I always think Christmas and New Year and events like that are just for amateurs who don't know how to have fun.
But your Christmas has been okay.
I suppose.
On other news, Mart, I've got to tell you this. So, going back to sleep's overrated, my son has slept in his bed for 5 nights on the trot.
Get out of here.
Nope.
Gee whiz.
No.
On the sleep thing briefly, Sunday night, the night before school started again, all 4 of us in the bed.
In the same bed?
It's like, oh, Christ almighty, here we go again.
Oh, my God.
I think the dog would have jumped up if she could have done, but I think she's learned to stay away. So
it's lowering them expectations, Mark.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have no expectations anymore, and I think even my low expectations are hard to live up to. But yeah, we go on, and we'll be doing exactly the same thing next year, I imagine, only with maybe more expensive presents and fewer tears.
Start saving now.
Start saving now, exactly, yes. And that's it. Thank you for listening to this episode of Adopters Anonymous. I promise we'll be back to releasing episodes on a regular basis. The next one will be, as promised, about cuts being made to adoption funding. Thanks for listening.